I'm going to help this business owner go from 17K to 34K and double his revenue by analyzing his social media, picking it apart, his funnel, his offer, his lead acquisition sources, in hopes it can give you guys some practical strategies to help your own business grow. I'm going to give you principles from the businesses that I've run as a serial entrepreneur in the health and coaching space. We will aim to do a 7-figure business with less than 5,000 people in our audience. There's probably some strategies that you can learn from me that I'm going to give onto this guy. We're not doing 7-figure yet, but that is the trajectory we're on. Probably some principles that you can take, given the very small audience size and the very high leverage that I have with my audience. That's a little bit of social proof. Let's begin, starting with exercise physiologist Dane. Let's pick it apart. If you're here for a short term, just click off this video because you don't have the attention span to watch a video. You don't have the attention span to actually grow a meaningful, successful business. All right, so double the revenue he wants. We're going to analyze, and we're also going to shift him from face-to-face, 3.5 days, drop to 3 days. 80% of the income is face-to-face. Most of the revenue comes from this, and it's a subscription-based. He's gone from 0 to this in a year, so that's a good sign. But he hasn't given me specifics on what he wants in regards to his revenue goal, so I'm just going to try and double it for him without even speaking to him. So the first thing I'm going to do is analyze. I want to buy something from you. I'm going to click your link. This is your CTA. Where do I go? First of all, this is too fucking much. If you want to double your revenue, I'm just going to assume you do. You want to make sizably more revenue. Guys, nobody is making, you are not going to make any meaningful amount of money from your 15% off discount code for Vivo or Foot Collective. Fuck that off. It's too overwhelming. You want to drive people towards one, maximum of 2 actions. This is the same advice that Hormozy gave me on my page. So if we want to drive to a subscription-based product, then we should drive to the funnel that gets people there in the most effective way. So let's say it's your workshop, because workshops can be great. First of all, I don't think you guys should be using link trees anymore. I don't think you need to. You can just use Instagram's native bio, unless there's some bigger reason to. First of all, this is an old dead link. That needs to fuck off. Online strength and rehab programs, I'm going to click on that website. I'm going to analyze that. Book in an in-person session. Okay, so this is the most direct top of funnel. So say, okay, great. I want to book in with you. How can I do that? So I would analyze what percentage of cold or warm, it's going to be warm people are going to be booking from this. It's probably going to be not going to be many. First of all, I can now see your services and your prices, but I don't have the information that I need to make an informed decision about whether I should book with you. You have to think. People are going to be really curious to book in with you. They're going to know they're going to be able to find out the key piece of information, which is how much do you cost. Then, unless they're already bought in, they'll book with you, and they're going to be quite bought in to book with you cold, meaning they haven't spoken to you, or they've already spoken to you and they've followed you for years. Those are the rare people, the 1%, who are going to book with you. Most people are not going to. Next, how the fuck do I make a decision about what to pick, Dane? You have, Jesus Christ, there are so many options here. Not only are they going to say, I don't have $180, $230. Second of all, what the fuck do they pick? Physio, medical, equipment. Now, maybe you DM them, maybe a conversation. Hey, book a dietetics call, book a EP call, right? Maybe you tell them, and you should tell them and guide them about what to pick, but this should not be in your bio. This is crazy to me. This is going to overwhelm the fuck out of them. Just get rid of this. This is too much. Even for clients, I wouldn't do this. If you go on my website, and I've just simplified. I already have too many words on my website. I recognize that, right? This isn't my main offering anymore. Trinity and Zion is. I have a private set of clientele that I turn into superheroes like entrepreneurs. But this, 2 options, that's all you get. You pick 1 or you pick 2. That's it. Now, before we get there, I have a VSL that helps people understand why I am the price I am, what they get, the social proof, etc., which there's a ton of it. People can't make an informed decision about who you are and what you do without the necessary social proof, the understanding of pain points, connecting to the dream outcome of what they want. There's none of that. So get rid of that. Now, maybe you do that on your website. Let's have a look if you do that on your website. Because if you do, that's good, and we should direct to that. Exercise rehab that actually works. Okay, It's okay, but it doesn't really connect to the dream. And the main pain is like, okay, so so you're talking to me as in like, I've done exercise rehab before and has it worked? But if your differentiation is a holistic system, like you were kind of alluding to, then I would probably allude to that much more here. Now we have two options: book an appointment and book a free discovery call. People know a discovery call is a sales call. It's very cliche now, and I would recommend you rephrase that to something that feels you didn't even go to the effort to direct them to book directly through that. Okay, I have to click once. I'm going to speak to Amy. What the fuck? Provider. Select the time from where? Where do I select the time? I didn't know I had to click. I just clicked randomly. This is a stupid system. This is not disrespectful to you, Dane. This is just to depersonalize this. This is just to the system that is currently functioning is shit. I understand allied health professionals have systems like this because you guys do rebates and do claims, but for the love of God, there's got to be a better system than this shit. So I didn't know I had to click her. Then I click on this, and then I click on this, then I click on this, then I have more information. Why do you need... Fuck the date of birth off. Get rid of that. I don't know what that is for. That's just confusing me. There's way too many fields and way too many options. Let me try and communicate. Every time you have a new step in the process, you lose you lose leads and you lose traffic. You want to make shit as seamless as possible. Now, you might think, well, when I click on your Trinity Zion thing, it's not like that. You have a rabbit. You don't even make it obvious. Look, I am pulling people the other way. I can only take 9 students. If I'm going the other way. It's an anti-sales system. It's a filter. If the person doesn't have the necessary patience to click on the screen and fill out a form, then I don't want them. I'm not trying to make it easy. I'm trying to make it hard. It's a preconditioned filter. It's the other way. You are not taking 9 students for 12 months. You're trying to build a successful clinic, and take a bunch of patients, pay a premium offer, make it easy for them. This is not that. So just in case you're getting ahead of yourself. And my equivalent service, let's just be really clear, they can start a free trial immediately. They click one button, it autofills, and that's it. You see? Now we need to create an equivalent of that for you. This needs to link directly to a conversation with you. Now, I like how it's 2 options. I can either speak to you or I can actually book an appointment and give you money. If this goes to the same place, it doesn't go to the same place. This is already loading way too slowly. Okay? I don't even know what to do. Dane. There needs to be a video that explains this process of how to do this. This is way too convoluted. This hook needs to be way better. You need to speak to the dream outcome. I need you to ask every single client and past client and go copy paste templated message about what the major emotion they had before starting to work with you is. Like, what did they feel? I tell this to my Trinity students. What did they feel before working with you? Like, why did they initially, I'm asking this a number of ways, why did they initially start working with you? What did you feel right before? What got you, like, why did you reach out? And they might say desperate, they might say hopeless, they might say like literally in pain. I did this with Lockie, with one of my best Trinity students when he was living with me with Trinity X, because he's an absolute G. He does whatever it takes to become successful. And so the predominant emotion and feeling, I said to him, we're now Williamsburg, $20,000 Airbnb. Lockie, I'm painting a little bit of a story here. And Lockie, by the way, this comes up too fast. This shouldn't come up in after 5 seconds. But I'll see how it's one field, simple, subscribe, bang. Anyway, the predominant emotion was feeling lost and unsure. The predominant dream is performance. Now, we're not talking fucking discovery call. I just want to have a conversation. I want to speak first. I want to get started now. So we have the 2 options. That's what you're doing that good so far. We don't have any subtitle for you. We want a subtitle. Change the trajectory of your athletic career. That's pegging to the dream outcome. Now, this is the mechanism of how it's possible. This is the differentiation. All of your training, nutrition, habits, wellness, psychology managed by one professional. Now, he took that from me because he's a functional health practitioner coach who's in the athletic space, which differentiates him greatly. In my opinion, a lot of AHPs, a lot of EPs who I've mentored and coached before, you guys all look the motherfucking same. You guys all look the same, okay? And also, that photo before I just saw in the carousel, that looks very corporate. Who's your ideal client? It's probably more like this guy, I assume. And if you want to do like more this girl, this guy. So you got to think about the avatar and make sure they can see themselves in the imagery that you're painting. So let's go back to Lockie. So we need to think about, okay, what's going to be your differentiation? So you said to me that you want to tap into an expanded market outside of Brisbane. Okay, we can do that with ads and things like that, but I would probably stay to maximize your market that you're already in before I look to go outside. So I already think that's the wrong problem. I think you should look to maximize where you are first. And only once you've exhausted that, do you go outside and elsewhere. I didn't start to market in Israel. I got my first Trinity student who found me internationally. He happened to be from Israel. So competing with the current online market, I find difficult. Fair enough. So if you want to compete in the online market, then you need to have an online offering. Like, where are you directing on your online offering to? I'm not going to analyze this whole website. There needs to be a VSL here. There needs to be a video sales. There needs to be a video of you talking. And I have a whole structure on VSLs and all that. It's in Zion. If you want free trial, you should already have a free trial because you went to the Fly Free Masterclass. So you already have access to my VSL structure, of like how to structure a video on your page. Again, like here's an example. You can just copy paste his one because we worked on that. Now, in regards to your online offering and differentiating you, well, let's have a look. Already too many options. You're not Athletes Authority. This is too many. Fuck me. I'd probably remove the menu bar and just direct to a straight landing page. What you can do now, why Athletes Authority can get away with so much is one, Carl Goodman's an absolute G of marketing, former mentor of mine, by the way, and they just have such strong market differentiation and market share. Okay, they can break rules when you become the powerhouse. You're not there yet. So this looks cheap. The image looks cheap. I'm just in someone's home. This is a great photo, really professional. I can see the branding is consistent with colors. I can see you've probably taken inspiration from Athletes Authority. I can see the way this is coming in. That's generic as fuck. If you want to be a premium service, the details matter. The details matter and the details don't matter. If you can become really popular just doing you can get a lot of clients and become really popular like accidentally and with virality, and because you're a very unique character and you're very authentic and all of that. Like, you don't need to have everything clean cut. But when you're fighting against other people who've already been in the game for so long, the details start to compound and matter more. And I can see this is all generic as fuck, and that looks really good. Even though there might be stock, it doesn't look stock to me. Looks quite good. Anyway, so each one of these needs to be their own landing pages, and you need to direct to the primary service and offer. Wherever 80% of your income comes from, I would be doubling down on that and maximizing that. You have an emerging athlete program. Okay, that sounds like it's inspired by Athletes Authority, so you're competing against that if you do live in Sydney. So I don't know what your differentiation is. This does not compel me to work with you or recommend you. A lot of this can be explained by video. That's good social proof if I know who those are. I like how this is later on and not earlier on. Now I get to your offer. Okay, let's analyze this. Okay, so you have your price anchor here. Get rid of that discount. I think discounts cheapen things. Like if you say 20% off, you feel cheaper. This feels cheap. There's 25 a week. The amount of clients you would need at 25 a week to make a meaningful amount of income is ridiculous. You might have 10 clients on this. You might have 20 clients on this. I'm less inclined to funnel people here because the type of athlete, the type of demographic and avatar that only wants a $25 a week service is going to suck and drain your soul, or you need so much volume from these people that you would need a much bigger audience size and awareness. I would get rid of this, and I can clearly see that this is most likely your main offer. This is a fine price anchor for this. This is probably what you're going to be driving to. You have 5 times 60-minute in-person or Zoom, okay, over 16 weeks. Ongoing individualized programming, messaging support, full access. Okay, so this is why people are buying, by the way, because of this, everyone else does this. I'm going to talk about differentiation, how to differentiate yourself later on because I have an idea. This is why people are buying. That's the main value of what they're getting. So I've calculated your LVC minimum is $1,700. Then every 16 weeks, you need to resell to a new client. I don't like that. We should be able to double that. And we need to be able to integrate into a program that creates 12 months of vision, 12 months of performance improvement, not just 16 weeks. This is already too short term. Your drop-off's going to be around there, if not a little bit earlier for some churn. And now every 16 weeks, you need a new client patient. I mean, some of them probably might stay on longer than that, obviously. But I don't like how this is so short. You're quite vulnerable to a very short life cycle of a client. Now, I know I've had short LVC before. I've had 3-4 month retention averages when I was first starting out. Now, fortunately, my average retention is years long. So I know what it's like to take it from kind of shit to great. Now, the whole model I think needs to change to differentiate yourself as just calculating your hourly rate, $3.52 an hour, not including, if you just factor that in, Now, if you dedicate 15 minutes per client on extra, just like messaging, support, blah, 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 that takes you down to $196 an hour. If you do 30 minutes a week, that takes you down to $135 an hour. If you do 60 minutes a week, that takes you down to $84 an hour that you're getting paid. So we want to systemize and automate to make sure we can bring that number up as much as possible. Now, the model. To reset the model, what I would be doing is, all right, so what I would do to revamp your offers, I would go here into Zion, pricing for existing clients. I would go down here and I would look to be adding these components to your offer to differentiate you from the competition and actually solve problems faster and play into a longer life cycle of the client. So we not only need to speak into vision of the rehab, but into vision about what happens after the rehab, which is into the yearly life cycle of the athlete. So I'd be starting to speak about their dream outcomes beyond just rehab and what they want out of their careers, their life, or just the people individually in general. And whether it's body composition goals, I'm not sure, all of the intricacies of the main goals of your target market, but whatever they are, you want to play that into vision over at least 12 months and start to incorporate some of these into the offer itself. You can pause the video, take notes, but you really want to start getting into the functional space and the holistic space of going psychology, physiology, nutrition, deeper health issues that are limiting their capacity, not only for rehab, but for performance and quality of life and health. And this way you can start to become a lot more integral and valuable in your client's life. Instead of just being the practitioner who helps them with rehab, you become the practitioner that helps them with life through the gateway of rehab that they stay around for what is a very unique rehabilitation service that is not just rehabilitation of body, but rehabilitation of mind and body internally, health issues. Now, you don't have to necessarily start off with that amount of intensity. You could open the door with rehab and you could keep people on for much more. And you can often trial these more holistic services as free trials, as an introduction for people who are skeptical and on the fence, which will be a lot of people. And then once they get a taste of the deeper capacity that you have to service them, they're much more likely to stay around, and you can start to disconnect yourself just from rehab, but changing the entire ethos to start to evolve beyond rehab and start to go into the evolvement and rehab of the human being underneath the injury. So those are some things that I would consider and think about. If you're wanting like a specific detailed plan, obviously you guys can reach out to me and we can talk about what that would look like. But otherwise, plenty to do, plenty to action. If you would like me to roast your business and social media page, message me the word roast and I'll cook it